Small industries have always had an important place in the overall planning framework in India. In the industrial policy resolutions, the smaller sector was given special role for creating employment with low capital investment. The small industries contributed to overall growth and have provided employment to the relatively unskilled, has educated and vulnerable section of the society. The small scale industries were earlier known as village and small enterprises, but in 2006 a new legislation, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act, was enacted, which defined micro, small and medium enterprises. The medium enterprises were introduced for the first time in 2006. After studying this module, you shall be able to know about the backbone of Indian industry, learn about the role of small industry, understand the problems faced by the small industries, analyze the policies made to solve these problems, learn about the small scale industries, the way forward. The new definitions of these enterprises. Manufacturing enterprises. After MSMED Act of 2006, new definitions were given to all these industries. Micro enterprise. Enterprises where the investment in the plant and machinery does not exceed rupees 25 lakhs. Small enterprises. Enterprises where the investment in the plant and machinery is more than rupees 25 lakhs but does not exceed rupees 5 crore. Medium enterprises. Enterprises where the investment in the plant and machinery is more than rupees 5 crore but does not exceed rupees 10 crore. Service enterprises. As the service sector has a lower investment requirement, it has a different classification criteria. Micro enterprises. Enterprises where the investment in equipment does not exceed rupees 10 lakhs. Small enterprises. Enterprises where the investment in equipment is more than rupees 10 lakhs but does not exceed rupees 2 crores. And medium enterprises are the enterprises where the investment in equipment is more than rupees 2 crores but does not exceed rupees 5 crores. The case for small scale industries. The Industrial Policy Resolution of 1956 states that they, that is SSIs, provide immediate large scale employment. They offer a method of ensuring a more equitable distribution of the national income, and they facilitate an effective mobilization of resources of capital and skill which might otherwise remain unutilized. Thus, alcoholism, according to the resolution, there are following 4 arguments in favor of small enterprises. The employment argument. According to Carvey Committee 1955, the principle of self-employment is at least as important to a successful democracy as that of self-government. It is assumed here that small enterprises are more labor intensive and they create more employment per unit of capital used. Equality argument. It suggests that the small enterprises are more dispersed in the country and hence the income generated by them is dispersed more widely in the community than the income generated in a few large enterprises. This implies that income benefit of small enterprise is derived by a large population, whereas the large enterprises encourages more concentration of economic growth. The latent resources argument. This argument is based on the assumption that the small enterprises are able to use the otherwise unutilized resources. The unutilized resources can be small hoarded wealth, small entrepreneurial activity, etc. This way, the small enterprises are encouraged, and this introduces a dynamic element in the economy. The decentralized argument. It is generally argued that the small enterprises are based in small towns and in the countryside, whereas the large enterprises are mostly located in the metropolitan cities. This being the case, the small enterprises bring about the regional balances in the country. Hence, on the basis of above arguments, the small enterprises need to be developed along with the large enterprises. The contribution of micro, small and medium enterprises. The MSMEs play an important role in the economic and social development of a country. One can see its contribution to the Indian economy in the following aspect, viz. Employment, output, exports, which are summarized below. First, the total number of small scale industries increased from rupees 79.6 lakhs in 1994-95 to 133.68 lakhs in 2007 and 8, implying an annual average growth rate of 4.1%. Second, the total production in terms of rupees crore increased from rupees 2,98,886 in 1994-95 to rupees 6,95,126 rupees in 2007 and 8. Third, the total employment increased from 146.56 lakhs in 1994-95 to 322.28 lakhs, and exports increased from 29,068 crores to rupees 1,77,600 crores in 2006 and 7. Since 2006 and 7, the small scale industries have been changed to names the micro, small and medium enterprises, popularly known as MSMEs. These have been recognized as engines of economic growth. The problems faced by the small scale industries. The first one is finance. Finance is one of the most important problems confronting small scale industries. Finance is the lifeblood of an organization, and no organization can function properly in the absence of adequate funds. The scarcity of capital and inadequate availability of credit facilities are the major causes of this problem. Firstly, adequate funds are not available, and secondly, entrepreneurs, due to weak economic base, have lower credit worthiness. Neither they are having their own resources nor are others prepared to lend them. Entrepreneurs are forced to borrow money from money lenders at exorbitant rate of interest, and this upsets all their calculations. After nationalization, banks have started financing this sector. These enterprises are still struggling with the problem of inadequate availability of high cost funds. These enterprises are promoting various social objectives, and in order to facilitate them working adequate credit on easier terms and conditions must be provided to them. The second problem is of raw materials. Small scale industries normally tap local sources for meeting raw material requirements. These units have to face numerous problems like availability of inadequate quantity, poor quality, and even the supply of raw material is not on regular basis. All these factors adversely affect the functioning of these units. Large-scale units, because of more resources, normally corner whatever raw material that is available in the open market. Small-scale units are thus forced to purchase the same raw materials from the open market at a very high prices. It will lead to increase in the cost of production, thereby making their functioning unviable. The third problem is of ideal capacity. There is underutilization of installed capacity to the extent of 40 to 50% in case of small scale industries. Various causes of this underutilization are shortage of raw material problems associated with funds and even availability of power. Small scale units are not fully equipped to overcome all these problems, as is the case with the rivals in the large scale sector. The fourth problem is of technology. Small scale entrepreneurs are not fully exposed to the latest technology. Moreover, they lack requisite resources to update or modernize their plant and machinery. Due to obsolete methods of production, they are confronted with the problems of less production in inferior quality, and that too at higher cost. They are in no position to compete with their better equipped rivals operating modern large scale units. Fifth problem is marketing. These small scale units are also exposed to marketing problems. They are not in a position to get first hand information about the market, that is, about the competition, taste, liking, disliking of the consumers and prevalent fashion. With the result, they are not in a position to upgrade their products keeping in mind market requirements. They are producing less of inferior quality, and that too at higher cost. Therefore, in competition with better equipped large scale units, they are placed in a relatively disadvantageous position. In order to safeguard the interest of small scale enterprises, the Government of India has reserved certain items for exclusive production in the small scale sector. Various government agencies like Trade Fair Authority of India, State Trading Corporation and National Small Industries Corporation are extending helping hands to small scale sector in selling its product both in the domestic and export markets. Sixth problem is of infrastructure. Infrastructure aspects adversely affect the functioning of small scale units. There is inadequate availability of transportation, communication, power and other facilities in the backward areas. Entrepreneurs are faced with the problem of getting power connections, and even when they are lucky enough to get these, they are exposed to unscheduled long power cuts. Inadequate and inappropriate transportation and communication network will make the working of various units all the more difficult. All these factors are going to adversely affect the quantity, quality and production schedule of the enterprises operating in these areas. Thus, their operations will become uneconomical and unviable. The underutilization of capacity. Most of the small scale units are working below their full potentials, or there is gross underutilization of capacities. Large scale units are working 24 hours a day, that is in 3 shifts of 8 hours each, and are thus making best possible use of their machinery and equipments. On the other hand, small scale units are making only 40 to 50% of their installed capacities. Various reasons attributed to this gross underutilization of capacities are problems of finance, raw material, power and underdeveloped market for their products. Eighth is the project planning. Another important problem faced by small scale entrepreneurs is poor project planning. These entrepreneurs do not attach much significance to viability studies, that is, both technical and economical, and plunge into entrepreneurial activity out of mere enthusiasm and excitement. They do not bother to study the demand aspect, marketing problems and sources of raw materials, and even availability of proper infrastructure before starting their enterprises. Project feasibility analysis covering all these aspects in addition to technical and financial viability of the projects is not at all given due weight age. Inexperienced and incomplete documents, which invariably results in delays in completing the promotional formalities. Small entrepreneurs often submit unrealistic feasibility reports, and incompetent entrepreneurs do not fully understand project details. Moreover, due to the limited financial resources, they cannot afford to avail the services of project consultant. This results in poor project planning and execution. There is both time interest of these small scale enterprises. Ninth is skilled manpower. A small scale unit located in a remote backward area may not have problem with respect to unskilled workers, but skilled workers are not available there. The reason is, firstly, skilled workers may be reluctant to work in these areas, and secondly, the enterprise may not afford to pay the wages and other facilities demanded by these workers. Besides non-availability, entrepreneurs are confronted with various other problems like absenteeism, high labor turnover, indiscipline, strikes, etc. These labor related problems result in lower productivity, deterioration of quality, increases in wastage and rise in the other overhead cost, and finally adverse impact on the profitability of these small scale units. The 10th problem is of managerial. Managerial inadequacies pose another serious problem for small scale units. Modern business demands vision, knowledge, skill, aptitude and wholehearted devotion. Competence of the entrepreneur is vital for the success of any venture. An entrepreneur is a pivot around whom the entire enterprise revolves. Many small scale units have turned sick due to lack of managerial competence on the part of entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur who is required to undergo training and counseling for developing his managerial skills will add to the problem of entrepreneurs. The small scale entrepreneurs have to encounter numerous problems relating to overdependence on institutional agencies for funds and consultancy services, lack of credit worthiness, education, training, lower profitability and host of marketing and other problems. The Government of India has initiated various schemes aimed at improving the overall functioning of these units. As stated in the report of second All India Census of Small Scale Industrial Units, the problems faced by these small industries were financial, marketing, raw material, disputes, natural calamities, labor problem, etc. The major one being the financial problem, constituting 35%. In light of these problems, Government of India has announced Small Sector Industrial Policy in 1991. The main features of this policy were: 1. The investment limits in the small sector enterprise were increased. Second, there were many measures participation by other industrial units to set up the factoring services through the setup of Small Industrial Developmental Bank of India known as SIDBI. Third, the infrastructural facilities were increased by setting up of a technology development cell known as TDC. Fourth, the marketing and export would be encouraged. And fifth, the modernization, technological and quality upgradation would be encouraged. Thus, here the emphasis was on deregulation and debureaucratization of this sector. And therefore, instead of reservation, the emphasis was on competition. Hence, the growth of small sector in terms of units, employment, output and exports came down. So, in 1999, a study group on development of small enterprises was set up. It recommended that A. The medium scale units were reorganized and defined for the first time. B. Setting up of a new cell in the Office of Small Scale Industries for matters relating to WTO. C. There was a need for a single law for SSI. D. Setting up of incubation center. And E. The recommended enactment of a Limited Partnership Act to bring in more risk capital in SSI sector, etc. The way forward to the small scale industries. Given that the agriculture sector is still largely dependent on monsoon and rain-fed irrigation, MSMEs provide for a huge potential in output generation and export promotion. To reap the benefits of demographic dividend, the younger population in India must be provided with decent and productive employment opportunities, and as MSMEs are generally labor intensive, they have the capability to create more jobs to cater to a young population in India. Along with supply side efforts undertaken by the government and the RBI to encourage MSMEs, there is a need to generate demand side requirement from the general public to set up MSMEs. This calls for training of young entrepreneurs in addition to skill development of youth, which would also provide a boost to Make in India. In the case of existing as well as potential MSMEs, financial constraints faced by the entrepreneurs continues to be one of the most important problems in this sector, and often the resources allocated by the government and non-governmental organizations for MSMEs do not reach the targeted audience. The successful launch of Jan Dhan Yojana could be used to direct financial resources to targeted MSMEs, and given the limited reach of formal institutional finance, there is a need to consider various alternative sources of finance. For example, money lenders could be brought under regulation and an interest cap be imposed for lending to MSMEs. Focused coordination of activities among different government authorities would also help to encourage MSMEs. For example, maintaining a database and repository information on a shareable basis would help to measure the level of productivity for different product groups and identify products in need of research and development. In addition to various ad hoc initiatives undertaken regularly, the government needs to prepare a roadmap for MSME sector. It needs to delineate proper objectives, vision and a mission, and to inspire confidence, the government need to strengthen the legal structure and establish a credible redressal mechanism. In the preparation of vision document and an achievable roadmap for MSMEs, the government should engage researchers, industry groups and various stakeholders. Let us now summarize what we have discussed in this module. In pre-East India Company regime, cottage and small industries were the backbone of the Indian economy. With the political domination of East India Company, our cottage industry were destroyed over time. In the post-independence era, the cottage and small-scale industries have been developed, and as a part of that, they have been encouraged to increase their participation in the development in terms of output, employment and exports. With the globalization process, they have been given the important role. But over time, after 1991, competition has made their contribution lesser than before. It must be remembered that no country has graduated from a developing country to an advanced economy without industry contributing significantly in output. Indian economy has transformed itself from an agrarian economy to an economy led by service sector, bypassing the industrial sector without creating a sustainable and well-diversified industrial base. Strengthening of MSMEs would go a long way in creating a robust manufacturing sector in India, and thus there is a need for small scale industries to increase their role in terms of output, employment and exports.